to live in a place where a wrong word can be a death sentence.
Would tell them what was going on in North Korea.
Beyond the regime's propaganda.
Although I often wondered about the outside world,
I need you to understand what the word escape means in the context of North Korea.
North Korea controls what its citizens say, where they go, and what they do. Sounds extreme, right? But what if I told you some footballers live the same nightmare in clubs that look modern on the outside, but act like prisons inside? I used to think football was the freest sport in the world. Kick a ball, chase a dream, doesn't matter where you're from. Until one of my close friends, a photojournalist, got access to visit North Korea on an official tour. He wasn't allowed to film freely. Every picture had to be approved. Every question had to be scripted. But what shocked him the most wasn't the silence or the surveillance. It was the football. He sent me a message once that still gives me chills. He said, "Bro, I walked through a neighborhood in Pyongyang for 40 minutes, and I didn't see a single car. Not one, just silence. Clean streets, no graffiti, no noise, and no freedom. That's not football. That's not sport. That's a performance." In North Korea, football isn't just a game. It's a national symbol, a propaganda tool, and for some, a prison. People there live with fear, stitched into the fabric of daily life. From the moment they wake up, they're monitored, molded, and told who to be. You can't leave the country. You can't even speak your mind. And if you do something wrong, or someone says you did, it's not just you who suffers. Your whole family might disappear. Now imagine trying to be an athlete in a place like that. North Korea's national football team has made global headlines before, most famously in the 1966 World Cup, when they shocked the world by beating Italy. It was a fairy tale, or so we thought, because what we didn't see were the chains behind the curtain. Let's get real. Football in North Korea isn't about competition, it's about obedience. Players are selected from a young age, not always because they're the best, but because of their family's loyalty to the regime. Training is brutal. Hours upon hours of drills, repetition, and mental conditioning, not just to win, but to never embarrass the country. Because if you do, if you lose badly, if you disrespect the anthem, if you don't clap at the right moment, you're done. Some reports say players have been sent to labor camps after losing important matches. Others talk about re-education for athletes who failed to bring home victory. We're not just talking fines or bench time, we're talking lives destroyed. And the scariest part, no one ever really knows the full truth because no one is allowed to talk. There's a local league in North Korea, yes, there is, but it's nothing like what you know. Clubs are owned by the military, government departments, or secret services. The most famous club, April 25th Sports Club, owned by the Korean People's Army. Players don't transfer between clubs. There's no bidding war, no agents, no YouTube highlight reels. You're placed where you're told. You wear what they give you, and you play the way they demand. And yet, you see clips online, well-produced videos of smiling athletes, clean pitches, chants from the crowd. You might think, hey, they look happy, but ask yourself this, what happens if they're not? One of the few North Korean players who ever made it out was Jong Tae-se. He was born in Japan, technically part of the North Korean diaspora. When he played in the 2010 World Cup, people called him the People's Rooney. Fierce, strong, emotional. I remember watching him cry during the national anthem. At first I thought it was passion, but now maybe it was fear or relief or both. My friend, the one who visited Pyongyang, said the silence on the streets was deafening, and the people, they were always looking over their shoulder. Even when he smiled, most people didn't smile back, not because they were rude, but because smiling at a foreigner could cost them their freedom. He asked a guide once, "Where do the kids play football?" And she said, "Only at school, in groups, no pickup games, no fun in the dirt. Even play is regulated." Now think about this for a second. What if these kids, these talented, hopeful, disciplined kids were born in the United States? What if they grew up with freedom to fail, to choose their clubs, to fight for contracts, to cry when they lose without fearing prison? What if they could run barefoot on a field, screaming with joy instead of whispering on concrete behind walls? What if they could grow up to be heroes instead of symbols? The thought breaks me. There's a memory I can't shake. A few years ago, I met this old woman in Michigan. She was 84. She walked every morning, bought coffee on her own, and loved to watch high school football games on Fridays. She told me once, freedom doesn't mean shouting. It just means choosing your silence. I don't know why that line stuck with me, but last year, I saw a secret recording of an old woman in a village, probably 80-something. She wasn't walking. She was sitting still, alone, with eyes full of stories no one would ever hear. She wasn't allowed to talk to the man filming her. She looked terrified. That image broke me. Two old women, both quiet, but only one of them had chosen her silence. You see, football is supposed to be the ultimate freedom, a game where a poor kid can become a king, where a street becomes a stadium, where your voice, your passion, your sweat, they all mean something. But in North Korea, football is a tool, a leash, a mask for the world to see, while the soul stays hidden. And the sad part, some of the world's biggest clubs and organizations still play along, still schedule matches, still use it for political leverage, because the truth is uncomfortable and silence is easy. So next time you watch a match and you see a player walking off the pitch with his head down, ask yourself, is he just upset or is he afraid? Because if you think football is free, ask North Korea. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. Let's talk about this. If you've ever wondered what football looks like in the most secretive country on earth, or what freedom really means for an athlete, I want to hear your voice. And if this story moved you, watch this next video right here. It'll make you see football in a way you never have before.